What questions do you need to ask every person who's providing you professional services to make sure that you're getting the quality of service that you need? That's what we're talking about today. Hi, David Chomet. If you're interested in improving the value of your business, then please take a moment and subscribe using the button down below. I've shot videos in the past, which I'll link up here, which talk about the kind of professionals you need. But what kind of questions should you be asking them to make sure you've got the right person in front of you? This is the first of the videos that I'm putting together where we're going to talk about the specific questions that you should be asking. And since it's the first video, we're going to be relatively generic in this video, talking about questions that are applicable to every different service provider that you might encounter. These are things about that relationship that you should understand to avoid surprises later. Question 1, how do you charge me? You should know before you go in, do they charge on an hourly basis, on a monthly basis, on a per activity basis? And also, how do they want to be paid? Many professional service firms ask you for a retainer. In other words, to pay them up front. The money goes into their trust account, and then they draw down against that. Be sure you understand that ahead of time. Be sure you understand how you're being charged. Question 2, how do I reach you? When you have a question, you don't want to have to spend time trying to figure out where to find your accountant, find your lawyer, find your business consultant. You want to be able to reach out and touch them. That doesn't mean that you need to have their text number or you give them a special beep or anything like that. You just need to know what the standard is. What's the approach going to be? A related question is, how do I get documents to and from you? Virtually any of these professionals at some point is either going to need to send you things or provide things to you. Sometimes those are documents that require official signatures on it, so you can't do it all by email. But regardless of the manner of transfer, you need to know how they operate. Will they set up a Dropbox or something similar where you can exchange documents that way? Will they email things back and forth? Will you be speaking specifically to their admin? How do you get in front of them? How do they like to get in front of you? A related point, question 3, who's doing the work? I have heard so many small business people come in and complain that the person who did the sales job, who got them on board, is the last person they see doing any of the work. That's a question you need to ask. Many times that'll be reflected in the bill. The bill, if you're being billed on an hourly basis, will reflect all the different professionals who are working on your matter. But sometimes you won't know how to read those either. So you want to be able to ask the questions about the bill so that you know who's doing the work. And you'll probably, in most cases, as a small business person, you'll want to meet that person and ask them some of the questions you asked before. How do I reach you? How do you plan to reach me? How do we exchange documents? Those people who are actually doing the work will be critical to the success of the engagement, whatever you're having them do. Question 4, what are the limits of your work? Most of us, when we're talking about doctors, we know that you don't go to see a podiatrist if you have a heart problem. Yet people don't apply that outside of that narrow medical field. There are specialties within accounting, within banking, within the legal field. And if you're not aware of the limitations of the person in front of you, then you're costing yourself money and you're endangering your livelihood in ways that you can't even imagine. Now, this is a little bit of a trick question because when you ask the question, very often you will get somebody who doesn't want to give you the straightest of answers. They are thinking to themselves, any area that I don't know, I will learn by the time it matters. It's not a good approach. It makes a whole lot more sense, even though it may sound like it may cost you more money in the short run, to know the limits of the people that you're dealing with. For example, I'm dealing with a matter now where there is a probate issue, a business corporation issue, and a tax issue. And really, you need at least 2, if not 3 different people on the legal side dealing with those issues. But that's just one example. Keep in mind, you see this in the medical industry all the time. Last time I was in the hospital, I had a pulmonologist, somebody dealing with my heart issues. I had a whole host of different people. That's not that surprising. And it's true in other areas as well. The last question is another one of these kind of trick questions. If I think you're doing a good job, who are the people that I need to be looking out for so that I can send them to you? No one asks that question. If you ask that question of your business professional who is helping you put the business together, you will immediately go to the top of their list in terms of the care and service that they want to provide to you. And you'll also get a very interesting insight into their business. Because after all, they're small business people too. If the person that they describe as their ideal client doesn't look like you, doesn't sound like you, doesn't feel like you, maybe you're with the wrong person. If it is you, that's great. You're in the right place. If it's not, think again about whether you got the right person in front of you. And of course, as always, if they're doing good work for you, share the referral. Tell your friends. Maybe not necessarily on social media if you're not comfortable doing that. I'm not big on sharing my business on social media, but a good word from a good friend is always much better than any amount of advertising that you can do. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks.